I guess spring is here. It sure seems like it. When my thermometer says it's 80 degrees outside and the sun is shining like this, I am going to be outside if I possibly can. So I'm sitting on my deck and back, and I thought this would be a good way to address you today. Um, Couple of things for you, some very important things. Okay, um, I have a couple of critical things to talk to you about. First of all, your research paper. We had discussed the possibility of getting together as a class to hand in your research papers, and I really like to do that. But from the information that I've gotten from you, and not a lot of you responded to that, but from those of you who did respond to it, it seems like it's just not going to be possible for us to get together as a class to hand in research papers. So here is what we are going to do. Here is where I live. Please write this down. I live at 6060 Quaker Lake Terrace, Quaker Lake, Lake, Terrace, Terr, Orchard Park, New York, 14127. Okay, I live at 60 Quaker Lake Terrace, Orchard Park, New York, 14127. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I want your research papers at my home by Friday, April 29. Okay, so today's Sunday, the 17th. I want your research papers at my house by a week from Friday. So that's Friday, April 29th, which means you'll have an assignment due this Friday, the 22nd, and then the following Friday, the research papers will be due. You can mail your research papers to me, George Chernowski, 60 Quaker Lake Terrace, Orchard Park, New York, or you can bring them and drop them right in my front door. Okay, that's fine. I live on a corner. If you come up Quaker Lake Terrace off of Route 20A on your way toward East Aurora, and before you get up 28 to Old Transit Road, Quaker Lake runs off of Big Tree Road or Quaker Road. It's called both names. To the right, okay? And then as you come down Quaker Lake, there's only one street that goes off it on the right-hand side. I'm the first house after that street. My house number is 60, okay? So you can drop it in my front door or you can mail it to me, but I want it by Friday, April 29th, okay? If you have questions on that, contact me. You know how to get a hold of me, okay? Just make sure I have it by that date, Friday, April 29. Okay, so much for the research paper, and lots of you have done very well. A few people with the things that they wrote this week on Moodle were obviously very out of the loop with the research paper and how that can happen. I don't know. Again, we're looking for, we wrote outlines in class for your finished research paper. If you want to have a cover page, fine. If you don't, that's fine too. The MLA style sheet shows it both with and without, so it's up to you if you want a cover page. If you do, make it look nice. Then the outline, your typed out outline, and we did outlines. We talked about doing them in class. You wrote outlines for me. Your typed up outlines will be after your cover page if you use a cover page. If you don't use a cover page, your outline is the very next thing. Your outline is the skeleton of your paper, okay? Now, in your outline, as we discussed, you use Roman numerals and capital letters. Those go on your outline. They do not go in your paper itself. So you do not break your paper up into any sort of chapters, okay? It's one continuous flow from the beginning of the paper to the end. There are no separate chapters, no separate spacing as you go from one section to another. If you move from one idea to another idea, use good transitional words good transitional phrases, good transitional paragraphs to go from one idea to the next. Okay, we're looking for 5 to 7 double-spaced pages of text, double-spaced, obviously typed. Okay, and if you finish a section, then and you want to go on to another idea, that goes immediately after it. You don't just leave half a page blank and go on to the next page. Your paper is one continuous flow from beginning to end. Okay, if you follow your outline and you did your outline the way we said, then this is not rocket science. This is pretty easy stuff. It's one continuous flow from beginning to end. Okay, again, you document where every idea that you take from somebody else comes from. And since this is a research paper, most of your ideas come from other people. Okay, so you're documenting most of the ideas in your paper. We talked in last week's video about how you document. Okay, and then your works cited, which we talked about in last week's video, is the last page of your research paper. We want you to have a minimum of 6 sources from which you take information and use in your paper. There's a sample works cited page in your textbook on page 716, same as the area code, 716. Okay, so you'll see a sample works cited. So a cover page if you want one, then an outline, then 5 to 7 pages of text, double spaced. Every idea you take from somebody else, you tell where you got that idea from, and I explained that last week in the video. Okay, and the last thing in your paper is the works cited. Where did my video just go? My video just disappeared on me. I hope I can get it back. Come on back, video, because I think we're still live. Looks to me like the camera's still on. I'm going to proceed as if the camera's still on. Oh, here we go. Maybe this can get me back. Let's see. There we go. We're still, yep, okay. Crazy, I'm no techno wizard, that's for sure. Okay, so questions about the research paper, email me, call me, text me, okay? You know what you're supposed to do, okay? Now, couple of things I need to talk about from the works cited, because a number of you messed that up last week. You double space your works cited all the way through. So actually a works cited page, other than the fact that you use reverse indentation for second, third, fourth lines and entries, other than that, it looks pretty much the same as a regular page in your paper. It's double spaced all the way through. Okay. Something else that a lot of you did when you put down sample works cited this week was that the entries in your works cited go in alphabetical order by the first thing in the entry, the first word in the entry. Okay, so the works cited goes not in the order that you use information, but it goes in the order, in alphabetical order. Okay, that's how works cited is set up. Let me move over. The sun just moved over a little bit, and I was in place of a post from my gazebo in the shadow. Okay, so again, check the works cited on page 17. You'll see reverse indentation. You'll see that it's in alphabetical order. You'll see that it's double spaced all the way through. Okay, so far so good. Okay, now in your text there is a page on there's a chapter on argument persuasion. Okay, there's a lot of explanation about argument persuasion. Okay, you are to come up with your own argument or your own persuasion. In the notes this week and in the text, they tell us the difference between argument and persuasion. Argument uses logic. Argument uses sound reasoning. Okay? Persuasion uses emotion. Persuasion, we try to get inside people to change what they think. In argument, again, going back to the first one, in argument, we use facts. We use logic. We use specifics. Okay? In persuasion, we're trying to move somebody. We're trying to persuade somebody. We're trying to change somebody's way of thinking. Okay, so you can combine the two. You know, you can have argument persuasion together as well. Okay, in your text. Oh, I wish I had the page number in front of me. I don't. But I think the chapter starts on 571, and then on about 586, there are a bunch of questions to help you set up an essay with either argument or persuasion, or a combination of both. Okay, so use that to help you come up with an argument, build a good argument. Again, we're looking for roughly the same length as always, and it's not rocket science. It follows a lot of the same form as we've seen in our other essays, where you have an introductory paragraph where you kind of lay things out, and then 3 paragraphs of arguments or persuasions or both. Okay, a separate argument in each paragraph, or a separate persuasion in each paragraph, or maybe 2 arguments and then a persuasion. It's okay to mix them like that. That's okay. And then a 5th paragraph where you tie them all together. So we're looking for you to do that kind of writing for this week, and I need you to post it by Friday, April 22nd. Okay? You know where to get me if you have any questions. So you have the assignment for this week, and you have the assignment for the following week. Okay? And then after you turn in your research paper, you won't have any more assignments. Okay? But plan on getting that to me on time. Don't just throw it in my mailbox at school. I don't want it in my mailbox at school. I want you to send it to my home or drop it off at my home. I do not want you to email me your research paper. Okay? Do not email me your research paper. Okay? First of all, Moodle messes up spacing. Moodle doesn't respond well to tabbing, so that if you're trying to do your work cited the correct way, Moodle has a very difficult, it's impossible to do that on Moodle. Don't try to email me your paper. Don't say, well, okay, how about if I just do it separately? No, I want it in print from you. Okay, please get that straight. And gee, this may be, I don't know if I'll make another video for you next week or not. So this may be the last time I get to talk to you. If you see me in the halls, please stop me. If I'm home when you come to my house, please ring the doorbell. I'd love to meet you, because you've been a hard-working class. As I look through everything today, it's like, man, I'm going to have a hard time figuring out how to differentiate between grades, because so many people did so many things so well all through the semester. And for those of you who had some essays early on that weren't all that good, you really worked to make them better. Now, keep this in mind. The only person who can ever make you a better writer is you. And you need to do that by being scrupulous with your own writing. Always, always, always. Okay? I told you that in the beginning. That's where we are now too. Okay, as we move toward the end of the semester. So you guys have a good week. Any questions, please get in touch with me. You know where to find me. And thank you.